Hey stars. So today I want to talk about the birds and the bees. So we all know that I absolutely love tearing apart the Bible and kind of bringing it to life. So when you turn to the Bible and you start looking at things like the birds and bees, flowers and trees, it tells you basically that you're not supposed to do it outside of marriage. And the only real explanation you're given comes from Paul in 1 Corinthians 6:18. He talks about how it's a sin that you commit with your body, where every other sin you commit outside of your body. So this doesn't give you much of an explanation when it really comes down to it. And in the Bible, you have things like it's saying that it's better to put your seed into the belly of a than to spill it on the ground. So you have verses like this, and then you have men like Solomon. Solomon was considered one of the wisest men in the world. According to the Bible, he was the wisest man, according to the Bible. This man had many wives. He had a few concubines. He was out doing nothing. He was allowed to do all of this. According to the Bible, he was allowed to do all of this. The only thing that he did wrong throughout all of this was that he took wives that were not Jewish, and they brought in other belief systems, and this corrupted his kingdom. That was his only sin, so to speak of. So, but once again, the Bible, this doesn't explain anything, right? So let's get into basically the immorality and the morality of things, right? So when it comes down to it, there were child diddlers back then, just like there's child diddlers now. There's child diddlers. Okay, so and the Pharisees, they're not my favorite people, because what they would do is they would leave their area and go into areas where child diddling was perfectly fine, and their favorite were children under 3 years old, because it wasn't considered a sin. I'm sorry. It is so gross. It's hard for me to keep my breakfast down even thinking about it. Okay. Moving on, there were also animal diddlers. So it's actually believed that gonorrhea comes from pigs, which means that somebody was out there pig diddling. Okay, so and then we have things where we have group activities, if you catch my drift, and those who use their body in order to make money. So even nowadays, let's face it, you have some people who are like, yay, OnlyFans, and then others who are like, whoa, bro, we don't have to do that, right? So, and then those who are like, yay, make that money, baby, are perfectly fine with it until their man is the one paying for that subscription fee, but we're not going to talk about that right now, okay? So the first two, honestly, they make sense. It's a no-brainer when it comes to the first two. The second one, I can understand that not everybody can wrap their mind around it. So I want to get a little deeper into like marriage itself, right? So when it comes to marriage, for a man, this is an investment into his home, into his family. And this is an investment for him, okay? So when it comes to women, this is, oh my goodness, this is basically them for security, right? So when it comes to making babies, men can make babies all day, every day. They can have a couple different babies made in one day. Like, it ain't nothing for a man. Where women, on the other hand, they can only make basically one baby a year, being healthy, right? So this put a lot of the morality pressure on females themselves. especially due to the fact that up until recently, due to technology advancements, women were basically forced to stay within the home. They didn't really have a chance to go outside of the home unless you watch My Price More Than Rubies. Then you see what can actually be done and what can actually be made. So, but due to this pressure of morality falling onto women's shoulders, which I personally have to say, I find this to be more of a European problem than a problem with certain indigenous cultures, because they embrace this creative energy that women have. Excuse me. So, and a lot of these ideas that happened, that started in the Victorian era, unfortunately, sadly, still apply today. And these are the things that we've been breaking out of, right? And it's caused a lot of issues, like, let's face it, but this is where our liberation comes from, right? Like, if you catch my drift, this is all about one thing. So the liberation comes in, right? So in my opinion, honestly, it's done more harm than it has helped people. The I don't need a man kind of attitude is cool until you're old and alone. And then you're just like, oh, why can't I find a good man? Are you still out here acting a fool? Just a question. So, and honestly, I don't feel like what we have is liberation. This creative energy that we have is powerful. Honestly, if you know how to use it, you can use it for control, you can use it for power, you can use it for manifestation. Being said, on a spiritual level, honestly, you have to be mindful who you give this energy to. If you're with someone, honestly, what I want you to ask yourself is, after you engage, after you have these moments, how do you feel? Start asking yourself, how do I feel? Because someone who is not on a lower vibrational level can, and most likely will, take more than what they're leaving, right? And this person will leave you feeling drained. And I'm not talking about the afterwards, like, I need a nap, or my famous words, I'm sleepy. Basically saying, like, you didn't put some work in, baby. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the next day, right? How do you feel? How's your energy? Do you feel depressed? Are you dealing with anxiety? Are you dealing with the inability to focus, anger? These are just a few things that can happen when you're with someone who isn't a vibrational match. Because everybody you're with leaves something and takes something from you. So when you're with a stable partner, you guys are essentially filling each other's cups every time you engage, and you guys are able to then take this energy and make something from it. And if you check out that video I was talking about, Price More Than Rubies, you'll see the type of energy that can really be made when you have a union that is made for you, right? So this vibrational change is honestly the real reason why the Bible talks about only engaging after you have made a union with someone, right? So, because this is where it talks about being evenly yoked. You can't take more, or you can't give more than you're taking, because in all actuality, that's not fair to either one, and it's not healthy. So being with the wrong person honestly can leave you feeling powerless, or honestly, even worse, having energetic problems. Peace of mind, money being another one that no one really talks about. You guys have to think about it. Money is currency. Currency is energy. Get it? So have you ever seen a relationship and it's like one person's life is like, you didn't upgrade it, like your life is going amazing, but then the other partner, their life is kind of going downwards? Or have you ever seen someone who gets with somebody and then all of a sudden they have negative personality traits? This is a manifestation of what's going on an energetic level between the two of these people. When someone is an energetic match and they are in love, because love is the highest frequency that we as humans know, they are truly able to manifest their desires. It is really them against the world. Females have this creative energy, and I'm not just talking about binary, but if you are more in touch with your feminine energy, you're more in touch with your creative energy. And when you get in touch with that masculine energy, then you have action. So you're able to create something and then take action on it and create something, bringing in manifestation for two people being super powerful. Okay, so when you understand this exchange, one, you understand what's happening, and two, when you don't understand this exchange, you don't really see what's happening. Number two, when you don't see what's happening, then you give this energy to more than one person. And I'm not talking about poly people, because there's actually a special principle that applies to someone who is in a stable poly relationship. I'm not going to go over that in this video, but I will go over it soon. But honestly, when you have like these random hookups, we live in a hookup society. When you have these random hookups, the people who exchange in these normally show signs that their spirit is not okay. And they honestly start to do things that show more and more that they're honestly not okay. And that's why it's so important to understand that spiritual health and mental health are one and the same. Because once you're able and you're tapped into yourself, you're able to either go to somebody and say like, hey, I don't feel right. I know that you do this. How can you help me pinpoint this problem? Or on the other hand, you can tap into yourself and say, okay, spirit, intuition, higher self, whoever it is that you connect with, show me what it is. And then you can see, like, if it's this person, you can bring yourself back into balance. And if you see that it's this person, you have that choice to cut it out. I personally cut people like this out. I don't need anybody's baggage in my life. And that's basically what's happening when you have these problems. So when it comes to the liberation, right? We've been taught to think that it's perfectly fine to go out there and do whatever it is that we want to do. So, but what do you know about this person on a spiritual level? Because honestly, two people who believe completely different, who are not open to each other's belief systems, it puts a strain on a relationship, and these relationships honestly normally do not last. So that's where being evenly yoked has its spiritual principle. What are you guys able to bring together to this table? When you freely exchange with people you shouldn't, giving away this power, and you give away a control. And honestly, if I was going to control people, this would be one of the ways I would do it, is I would tell you that it is more powerful and it is so empowering and just giving you freedom to then give away this energy just willy-nilly, leaving you feeling empty, leaving you with nothing for yourself. Okay, there are a few other parts. If you know what you're doing, you can actually use it to gain power. You can use it to gain control. However, there's a price that comes with any exchange like this. There's a price that comes with magic. Everybody's heard that. Understand that this is magic, and when you have this exchange, you're performing magic, whether it be good, bad, whatever. That's your choice to be made. All this being said, this like in your face kind of attitude, like I'm out here, I'm doing my thing, like honestly, I don't feel like that's what we were fighting for. And unfortunately, to me, like breaking away from the before mentioned suppression, it's not about being out here and doing whatever it is that you want because you can and whatever. Like, that doesn't necessarily show that you respect yourself, that you have respect for your temple, because this is your body. What energy, what things do you want in your body? If you're not gonna go and eat McDonald's because you know that it's bad, which is gross, even when I'm naughty, like no McDonald's, gross. No. So I'm just saying, like, if you're not gonna go and eat McDonald's, then why are you gonna go and pick a McDonald's of partners? That's kind of what, like, going on some of these sites really are, is just, like, going to McDonald's. Let me pick a man. Let me pick a girl. You know, not cute. So I honestly feel like this was more about, like, learning your body and learning how to align with your body, not being ashamed of things like your period, being able to know what it is that your body likes and telling your partner, and having the freedom to tell your partner, and also having the freedom to be like, nah, get somewhere, go somewhere, don't touch me, go. You have 5 fingers, you can go handle it. It's also about having that power, having the power that if you want to have some self-exploration, you can go and do it and not be ashamed of it. That is what liberation really is. It's not about, hey, I got body yada yada, so I'm out here showing it. Like, no, like, there's ways to express that same energy and to respect yourself. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not yucking anybody's yums here, okay? But understand that when the Bible says that the bed of marriage is undefiled, the Bible also says that knowing somebody is having sex. Bible also says that when you have this exchange, that you are married to someone, making a union, which is what this whole act and the hanky-panky is really all about, is a union, a bond, creating a bond with someone. And if you're having a bunch of problems, it might be because you still have ties to some of these exes, some of these people you've lent your body to that you haven't gotten back, or you let somebody walk away with all of your stuff. Okay, so this, honestly, when it comes down to it, I have made this video very gender inclusive or exclusive. I don't really know what it is, but I can't with the PC culture. I'm sorry. So when it comes down to it, if you have a soul, this energy, this video can still apply for you. If you are engaging in these types of activities, just know that these activities do have spiritual repercussions. Alrighty, guys, have a great day. Say hi to Bess. This little Bess. She needs a bath again. Ugh.